we still got to take care of business and do what we're supposed to do. But it feels good to move up another spot and continue to chasing our goals, which is to not only be in the play-in, but possibly being in securing the top 6 spot.
All right, there he is. We welcome in J.J. Redick. Jay, I want to start with you.
Oh, my goodness.
What?
Look at J.J. with the tie. What the hell is going on? I am
very
stunned.
GQ.
He usually got the collar open, just chilling out, and now he got the tie on. Look like he running for office. I'll vote for you, bro. I'll vote for you.
Here's the deal. Here's a decision I made. Stephen A., here's a decision I made last week. I decided, in honor of Mad Dog, every Wednesday I'm going to wear a tie.
Wow.
Let's go. Everyone's bringing their
Okay.
Solidarity.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Look very nice, but now I need you to answer my question. Is the Lakers win over the Grizzlies a big deal?
Yeah, it's a big deal. There were 2 points that we made when LeBron James got hurt against Dallas. The first point was strength of schedule. They had the easiest road going forward of any team in the NBA. Wins like this against a Memphis team without their star player, these are the games they got to win. The other point we made was the added pressure on Anthony Davis, and he's been spectacular. They're 3-2 since LeBron got hurt. Davis has played in 4 of those games. He's averaging 34 a game, 13 rebounds, almost 3 blocks a game. He's been awesome. They're in a position now, just 2 games back of 6th place. They're in a position now to actually maybe get in the playoffs, which is something that seemed unimaginable at times this season. But I want to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies and what a disaster this season has turned into. I was as high on the Memphis Grizzlies, Stephen A., you know this, as anybody back in January. An 11-game win streak. January 18th, they beat Cleveland at home. They're 31-13 in 2nd place in the Western Conference. They go out west. They lose 5 games in a row. Steven Adams gets hurt on that trip. They're 7-11 since he got hurt. Brandon Clark is out for the season with an Achilles tail, and we don't know exactly what the status is with Ja Morant going forward. And I look at the rest of the teams now. Sacramento's tied with them for 2nd place. They moved all the way up to 2nd place. Sacramento's playing excellent basketball, by the way. You look at the teams, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is Memphis beating those teams in the first round? It is a serious question. How a team went from a title contender 2 months ago, legitimate title contender, to now a team that I'm questioning whether or not they can even get out of the first round. It's just been a free fall for this team. Yes, some of it has been injury, some of it has been poor play, and some of it has been distractions off the court. But they're in a much different position than they were 2 months ago.
100%. I think you're right on Memphis. I agree with you. I love the Western Conference playoffs. When you get there, you're going to have some you got great teams at the bottom. You're going to have LeBron, maybe Kawhi. Maybe Zion will play. You can have good teams in that bottom half, which you like. And anytime you can put the Lakers in the playoffs with Davis and LeBron and Los Angeles, it adds to the juice. So I'm all for the Lakers. Win as many games as you want. I haven't examined the schedule like JJ and Stevie have. So I know it is supposed to be easier. They've done pretty well here. I don't know when LeBron's coming back. What, April 1st? Is that fair to say? So he can play those last 5, 6 games?
They said March 23rd he'll be reevaluated. That doesn't mean he'll play then.
Right.
But so you would assume within...
Give another week.
Somewhere within that 2-week period before the end of the regular season he would play.
But I don't want to step on JJ, Stevie, because he's 100% right. I think Memphis is shot. I'm with them. Injuries, who knows on Morant. They got a lot of guys. They got a lot of issues going on. They could get knocked out early in the first round. I'm with him.
Well, I agree. I agree with JJ 1,000%, and I think it's important to point out. I think it's one thing that you left out, JJ. The injuries, obviously, you mentioned, and you point out their poor play. You point out off-court distractions. The one thing you didn't mention, their mouth. They talk a lot. Okay, the Dylan Brooks of the world, Ja to some degree, even though obviously he backs it up. Along with a plethora of other players. I personally like the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm not talking about what we've seen lately, but I don't mind their mouth. I don't mind them talking, but there needs to be a clear distinction. Talk like somebody who's coming for everybody. Don't talk like like you're somebody who's accomplished something and everybody should be coming for you. And I think that's the tone that they've given off a lot of times to a lot of people where You act like you've arrived. You didn't accomplish anything yet. And they need to be reminded of that, which is why I think it's important that you said what you said about what we've seen from them. Having said that, transitioning to the Lakers, let's say this. I'm stunned, but pleasantly so. Because we all know where I want to be when it comes to late May and June. I mean, I want to be in Southern California, and apologizing for that to anybody. Southern California and Miami, that's my dream scenario. And I just don't think the Heat are going to do it for me this year. But here's the deal. When you look at Anthony Davis, he's been absolutely sensational. And I think we have to give him props because he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing what he was brought there to do. And especially when you see LeBron, age, attrition kick in as great and phenomenal as he is, him now being injured. You want Anthony Davis on that court reminding everybody of the star caliber player that he is. And that's exactly what he's been doing. And once again, JJ, we have to give props where it's due to Rob Pelinka, because looking at this roster at the beginning of the season, I never dreamed that the Lakers would be able to transition or transfer or just basically, reform that roster to what it is today. Hachimura with Vanderbilt, with Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, and these guys. I mean, I'm just saying that when you look at the Lakers now, if LeBron James comes back and he is what we know he is, and Anthony Davis looks this way, who definitively can't they beat in the Western Conference? That's what makes it interesting. Sure, we'll look at Phoenix to some degree because of KD and Booker and say, yeah. We'll look at Denver because of their depth and Jokic and the crew, and we'll say, yeah. But you can't definitively look at anyone in the Western Conference. If Anthony Davis is on the court playing the way he's playing now, LeBron James returns and looks like we're accustomed to seeing him look with the other pieces around them playing, you can't summarily dismiss the Los Angeles Lakers. I didn't think they had a shot at the 6th seed once LeBron went down. I thought they'd make the play-in. I didn't think they'd have a shot at the 6th seed. Now they do. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I want to just point out two things. I want to reiterate what you just said. Give props to Rob Pelinka, someone who we have been hard on over the last two seasons. What he did going into the trade deadline, getting Hachimura, and then at the trade deadline, it completely reshaped this roster. It gives guys like Hachimura, it gives guys like Austin Reeves an opportunity to come in off the bench and contribute. Jared Vanderbilt has been awesome. D'Angelo Russell's been hurt. Now,
I know.
If his ankle gets right and all of a sudden he starts shooting the basketball like he was in Minnesota, you're absolutely right. This will be a tough out in the playoffs, assuming they get in and assuming LeBron James is healthy. The second point I wanted to make, this split screen is completely unfair to me. Mad Dog was just in Anguilla, and he has the greatest tan I've ever seen. And I'm sitting here. I've been in New York. I've been in cold weather. It's 40 degrees outside. I'm getting no sunshine. It's bull.
Yeah.
Bull.
You'll be all right.
You are glowing.
You'll be all right.
You really are. You are glowing.
I am glowing.
By the way, JJ.
Hamilton.
How was Anguilla?
How can it, 82 degrees and sunshine every day?
Must be nice.
A little rum
Nice.
punch.
All right.
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 Folks?
By the way,
Okay.
JJ, Dennis Schrader, let's not forget him.
Yes.
Let's not
correct.
forget him. Let's not forget him.
By the way, Stephen
You know?
A., Lakers Knicks, that's Sunday on ESPN, so, pay
How about
attention to that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before
York,
we go to
yeah.
break, though, I want to correct something here from yesterday's show. When Kendrick Perkins said 80% of NBA voters for the MVP award are white. The NBA publicly announces the voters each year, and after review, it is clear the panel is much more diverse than what was portrayed by Kendrick Perkins, and we wanted to make sure that we corrected that today. Plenty more to come here on First Take. Especially the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. Could he be headed to the Big Apple? Kimberly A. Martin will be back with the latest on Rodgers. Don't go anywhere. In all March, we've been celebrating Women's History Month here on First Take. Today, we have special messages from across ESPN in honor of International Women's Day.
What I wish for the future of women in sports is equity.
Yes, equity and equality.
I wish for equality.
Build leagues that they can stay home and shine in front of their families and friends.
We're seeing everyone win in ways that are bigger than sports itself.
They are appreciated and valued on the exact same playing field and the same level as men.
Appreciation for incredible people and incredible athleticism.
A continued economic investment into women.
They get the investment and the resources that they deserve.
That the WNBA women
will be allowed to travel on charter planes.
See themselves in spaces, front offices, fields, courts, wherever.
A world that respects women in sports, that respects women who are athletes, that looks at them as equal, that pays them equally. And when we take a step towards that,